Hello, I would like to welcome you to another amazing episode of You Were Designed for Greatness. Today, I have a special guest, Nisi, who is a domestic violence survivor, and she has quite a story of hope to share. She was also a first lady of a church, and so it can happen to women in all kinds of places. So, join me as I welcome Nisi.
Hello, hello.
Hello. I am so happy we're getting to do this and share
Mhm.
your amazing story. So, what is it that you're actually doing today?
Today I have a nonprofit, House of Loving Hands. It assists and supports domestic violence women and their children with emergency shelter, which is normally hotel stays, food, clothing, and resources. Many times women leave with the clothes on their backs. So we
Mhm.
have a clothing closet, and then we also go to maybe Target or Walmart to get them like hygiene items, diapers, wipes, clothing.
Right, right. So, you're doing this amazing work today. So, let's go back and how did this your story get started?
My story started with the little girl that wants that picket fence, the husband, the children,
Mhm.
the little dog. That was me, and it didn't happen like that. I grew up with certain types of abuse because my uncle was on drugs, and he actually tried to kill me at one time. And then my mom got married to my stepfather, and my stepfather was abusive. Um, there was things that he tried
Mhm.
to do, didn't work out, but there was still a try there.
Yep.
And so then I'm like, I'm fed up with this. I don't want to be in this house. So I literally jumped from the frying pan into the fire. So I ended up getting married, and when I got married, not knowing that he was abusive. Um, I was married for 7 years. We had two children together. I was a first lady, he was a pastor. So all of this is going on while I'm in the church, smiling and letting people know that God loves them.
Oh my. So, in essence, abuse was somewhat normal because of your childhood, a little bit.
It wasn't normal, but it was something that was upon me. It
You
you
were
know it
you were
wasn't something that, yeah, it
you
wasn't
were
something that
familiar.
I was used to. I wasn't used to abuse. I was just like, why is this
Okay.
this happening?
So you married a man, somebody who's a minister. We
Yes.
would think that would be a good decision, and unfortunately,
Yes.
people are fallible no matter what title they wear and all of that. So tell me more. What happened?
Um it gradually happened. It wasn't something that
Yep.
just,
How do you
happened.
boil a frog? Turn
Right.
up it
But
just a little
very
bit. Yep.
very slowly,
Yeah.
so it goes from a push, to a shove, to a slap, to punches, and then it's in your home, and then it gets so out of hand that now they don't care if it's in public, so at
Yeah.
first it's hidden at home, but then as it escalates, it doesn't matter if it's in private or in public. um, we moved from out here from California to Arizona. So now I'm not with my family. It's
Mhm.
just us. And see, when I was in California with my family, when things would happen, it was easy for me to go to my mom's house and just
Right.
be like, you know what, I need a break, take the kids, and I just, kind of regroup. And then I go back. But once you move away and you
Yeah.
don't have that support system, then it gets even harder. And the person knows that you don't have that support system. So the abuse also gets worse.
Escalate.
Yeah.
Yes. So how did you end up leaving all of that? What happened?
Ended up leaving. It's in my book. I actually am an author. I wrote a
Oh,
little book about Eyes Wide Shut. It happened to me.
mhm.
Um, And it's just little snippets of my story, letting people know that there is hope um, in life after abuse. So one night, you get to the point where it's like enough is enough, and I kind of did that pro and the cons kind of thing.
Mhm.
When you're in life, you're just like, okay, what are the good things, what are the bad things, and the cons really outweighed the pros. And so I didn't sleep well that night, and I go to work, and I'm talking to my sister, and I'm just like, sis, this is kind of going on. This is what's been happening, because my family didn't know. They
Right.
knew of his infidelity. They knew of his lack of character and integrity. They could see that, but no one knew that I was going through abuse. Abuse
Mhm.
is very embarrassing.
Yes.
It's humiliating. And that's the reason why my book, Eyes Wide Shut, It Happened to Me, is because a lot of people feel like, oh, that that just happens to this particular group of people, or it only happens to poor people, or it only happens to minority. It happens to doctors, it happens to nurses,
Yes.
so it happened to me. I'm feisty, I was a fighter, and here I am fighting for my life to get out of this marriage. So I just had enough, and I was saying, I'm going to ask for a divorce. And at work, I made up my mind after talking to my sister. I was like, I can't do this anymore. My children deserve better. I deserve better. I'm
Right.
worth more than what is being presented to me. And so I went home that night. In the book is one of those, is like the longest night of my life. Um, get home, and I walk in the door. I want a divorce. I literally walked in the door. No hi, no how you doing? How was your day? It was like, I want a divorce. And I believe he felt, because you go back and forth, you leave, you come back, you leave, you come back, and they don't think that you're really serious.
Serious.
You're
Mhm.
right. So this time, I think he could feel that I was serious, because it was just like, we're not playing any games today, no. And the night just kind of drags on from there. I asked for a divorce. He's like, well, if you want a divorce, then I want you to sign this piece of paper saying you don't want nothing from me, and I take the pen and I just sign my name as big as possible, because I'm like, I do not want this anymore. I deserve so much better. And that's when he got really, really angry, went into the kitchen and got a serrated 8-inch knife and slit my throat.
Oh,
And so, really not knowing what to do, like I said, the night just drags on, because it went from one scenario to another. He went from cutting me to talking about that he wants to die for me to kill him. So it's just this up and down roller coaster all night. And I'm telling him, I do not want to kill you. Just leave. Leave us alone. Give us peace. Leave us alone. And so he's like, I want you to kill me, Nisi. I want you to kill me. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. Just leave. And so he says, I know what will make you kill me. So I have a 2-year old, a 4-year old, 3-year old, 5-year old, they changing ages, Um, my daughter is on the top bunk, my son is on the bottom bunk. He's the youngest and she's the oldest.
mhm.
He was 2 and she was 4, and they were about to start, their birthdays are back to back, February and January, so they were turning 3 and 5. And so she sleep on the top. I don't know to this day if she actually was asleep, if any of the commotion actually woke her up and she pretended. I don't know. That's, a story through their lenses, as I always say. And he snatched them out of the bed and he said, if you don't kill me, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill him. He has my son on one arm and the knife on another. My son is snatched out of his sleep. He's 2. So his eyes are wide as saucers, and it's in my neck. It's just
Oh
dripping.
my goodness.
I'm taking my robe to kind of compress it, because I'm bleeding. And so this is what my 2-year-old is waking up to. And finally was able to kind of like talk him down and talk him out of the house. And I had to really comfort my son and just let him know mommy was okay. Mommy wasn't okay. But when you are dealing with
Yeah.
situations like that, you always put your children first,
Right.
and allow them to be okay. You know, sometimes they don't understand the
Right.
magnitude of the things that you've gone through. They may feel like, you missed the mark on some things. But as a parent, as a good parent, you try to protect them. And
Right.
that's what I did.
Right.
I just kept reassuring him that I was okay and that everything was okay. And once I left, you would think, that's it. That you got out of it. You guys should be okay. But there is an aftermath after you go through abuse. And that
Mm.
aftermath was emotionally, psychologically,
Yes.
abuse and trauma. So now we're dealing with trauma. We're dealing with my 2 year old, my 4 year old, not having their dad in the house, feeling like, why isn't my dad in the house? Even though the household wasn't a safe one, it
Right.
was
Did
having
you
that.
get your neck taken care of?
What you say now?
Did you get your neck taken care of?
I did. I did. I didn't. And I say this all the time. I regret not putting him in jail. I just wanted him gone. I wanted him away. And at that time, I was working for a particular job that had a nurse on staff. So I ended up going into work early and just
Okay.
having them kind of work on me. And so after everything, after he's kicked out and we're trying to rebuild our life, there is so much trauma that has to be dealt with. You just can't go on with life
Yeah.
as like it's normal.
Right.
So I'm dropping off my son, and the preschool, he doesn't want me to drop him off. He is fighting, he is screaming, scratching. He's like, no, I don't want you to leave because the monster is going to kill you.
Yeah.
And so he equated his dad to a monster because of the action.
Right.
And so then I had to put my son, 2 years old, my daughter, 4 years old, myself into therapy.
Right.
So I do not thumbs down therapy at all. It helps, it works. A lot of times when we're dealing with domestic violence, women and their children, we deal with the woman, we deal with her getting better, not realizing that the children are also affected
Yes.
by what's going on and need assistance and services also. The good thing is we got out. It was hard because I'm in a foreign land. I don't know what resources are available to me. Um, and so that's why I really, really hone in on resources for the women at House 11 Hands.
Right.
Because when you don't know where to go, you feel stuck. And a lot of times
Yes.
women stay in a situation because they don't have the information or the resources to get the help that they need. I went back to school. I got my AS in early childhood development for kids, and then went back and got my BA for human development for women so that I can understand and see different cultures, races, lives through a different lens than my normal lens. So here I am today speaking with you as an author, as an owner and founder of a nonprofit that has assisted over 3,000 individuals and over 1,000 families. And we've been in operation for 5 years.
Awesome. I when we met, we just had a virtual coffee and we met, and I just resonated so much with what you're doing. It is in alignment with everything that Vibrant Living is about, is helping women to get rid of the labels and the things and the turning our baggage into luggage and
Right.
all of those kind of things. So I will put in the show notes a place that you can get her book if you want to donate to what she's doing and help her with that, or if you need the resources. We'll put her website so
Yeah.
that if you happen to be in her area. If not, she would still be somebody good to talk to about finding the resources
Yes.
wherever you may find yourself. So Nisi, with that jaw-dropping, it looks like a movie kind of a story, but but it's but unfortunately it's real life for a lot of people.
It is.
And so we laugh, but unfortunately
Right.
it's not a movie. It's
Right.
real life for so many women. And what message would you like them to hear today?
Today, I would like everyone. Um, we're speaking on women, but I always try to throw in that little insert that women are not the only ones that are abused. Men are abused too. A
Yes.
lot of times they're just not taken seriously because they're these burly, big, 6 foot men, 300 pounds being abused. And so they're rarely taken seriously. But if you look at the statistics, it's actually 1 in 4 women and 1 in 6 men that are abused. And so, what I want the takeaway to be is that there is life after abuse. There
Mm,
is love after abuse. There is
mm,
laughter after abuse. And when you are ready to move, know that there is someone here for you. Our motto at House of Loving Hands is you're not alone, it's not okay, and it's not your fault. I am my sister's keeper.
mm. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Nisi, for shining your light. Thank you for turning something awful into a ministry that is impacting women. Um, I think you're amazing.
Thank you. And so are you. So are you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome, and we'll put your contact information in the show notes. All right, another amazing episode of You Were Designed for Greatness. And so make sure you check out her book, Eyes Wide Shut. I love the title, as well as House of Loving Hands. And if you are needing some support, I am here as well. So reach out for a private call with me and find the resources so that you can live vibrantly and turn our baggage into luggage so we can begin to live a life of love and hope and joy again and be our best selves ever. So thank you for joining me here on this podcast. Be sure to share this message with a friend. Share this with a woman who needs it, and give us reviews and downloads so that we can reach more people. It's just the way the stats work. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here again soon.